it's Brian Mudd. This is my cheat sheet for Friday, September 23rd. Let me start out with the stock market and get this out of the way quickly. You've heard me say, going back, close to 3 months ago now, that when I take a look at the information, we've never had the set of economic data that we currently do and have had for the past few months and not gone into a recession. Now, I haven't been sitting here every day echoing that because, frankly, I think it would just depress you. But the truth of the matter is, that is still the way I read the economic data. And the problem is, a lot of the other economists and a lot of other people out there that analyze things, well, let me just be straight with you. I mean, that's probably the reason you come and listen to me in the first place, because I try to keep you ahead of the game. And a lot of them are just starting to figure some of the stuff I've been talking about for months out. That plays a large role with what you're beginning to see right now play out with the stock market, the U.S. economy, and the European economy. The odds are that one or the other of us, or both, and the other of us being Europe, by the way, are going into recession. Now, it's not a 2008 scenario, not for us, remember, but I'm not shocked by what I see out there, and hopefully you aren't shocked by it either. It doesn't make it feel any better if you're exposed financially and you're taking losses because of all this, but it is important to understand what's going on so that you don't emotionally react to things when you see them going on, the way that so many do, and you feel like you're out of control and lost and might even lose sleep. Anyway, I hope that helps a little bit, put things back in perspective, and all kinds of commentary going back if you want to check out my cheat sheet on the economy, the economic data, why I think it points to recession. Let me talk about protecting your business or your personal identity online. You have begun to hear of a cottage industry pop up. In fact, some of the companies advertise on the radio stations here that you can pay to help protect your identity online. Well, you don't necessarily need to pay anybody. The first thing you need to be doing, though, is going to every predominant search engine and searching for your company's name, searching for your personal name. If you want to protect your reputation, you've got to make sure you look everywhere that everybody else does. You'd be surprised how one person giving your company negative feedback and 1 star out of 5 online can keep people from even checking you out. That's step one. Step two is, in the event that you do find something there are steps you can take with any company online to end up validating it, asking if it was a legitimate review, and you can even, if you need to go far enough, hire a company, hire an attorney to act on your behalf. But you've got to know what information's out there about you online. Just search yourself, search your company's name. By the way, speaking of a company, it is budget season time. It is for most companies, or will be soon. How to get a raise. This goes hand in hand with something that we were talking about last year, but it's even more important right now. Number one rule, don't show weakness. Bottom line is that the bottom line of so many companies is not improving. And that means that there's not a whole lot of extra money out there in most cases in automatic raises. That automatic 3% that you used to see, that's not the way of the world anymore. So what do you do to best position yourself? You've got to, number one, identify your return on investment. Figure out how much value you bring to the company. Have concrete reasons as to why you actually do it. Know what the average person in your area, in your industry, in your position makes, and be able to defend it. And you put that whole scenario together, and you don't show weakness. Don't say, hey, I'm sorry to be asking for a raise, or I really could use it for this. That's all weakness. Concrete reasons, be analytical, and you're going to stand the best chance of getting what you're looking for. Seasonal hiring, this is not good. We are starting to head into that season, and what we see is that only 51% of companies that potentially could hire for seasonal workers are planning on it at this point. That obviously shows a very tepid entry into the seasonal hiring season. Toys R Us, for example, they were one of the largest adders of employees going into the holiday season last year. They added 45,000 workers. Well, this year they're only planning on adding 40,000. So 40,000 is still a big number, but obviously it's fewer than last year. And that seems to be about on line with what we're looking at here. So don't expect the holiday shopping season to help get us out of the unemployment situation that we're currently in. The iPad still rules, the iPad and the iPad 2. When the iPad 2 was launched this year, and there's much less competition out there, the iPad market share was 82%. Even with everything that's out there now, all the companies that have gotten into the tablet space and all the new Droid-based tablets as well, Apple still rules. The iPad and the iPad 2 still account for 73% market share in the tablet space at this point. And the second closest competitor is Android, but they're only at 17%. So Apple still has this market right where it wants it. Facebook's facelift. The big thing that gained some attention yesterday is the timeline. This reminds me of like an Ancestry.com type of deal. You know, you can go back and look at your entire family's history. Well, in this case, you can use Facebook to recreate your family's history. It's kind of like a timeline of your life. If you want it to be, you can add in old pictures, information, so people can check you out and see everything start to finish, or at least where you are currently. So anyway, the timeline could be a neat feature. The other thing that it could do is even let less privacy into your life. I think it's going to be more important with this feature, and also some of the new music-based features. By the way, iHeartRadio is one of the integrated media players with Facebook, as they allow you to choose your own music on their site now. You're going to have more and more information about you, about your friends, about your family online. It's going to be more important to manage who those friends are and who has access to all of that information. So if you're getting into some of the new Facebook tweets, just keep that in mind. Privacy still should be a paramount concern. And Target, they're not going to shy away. You know how they had that Mazzoni, big deal, it's a big fashion brand or whatever. I mean, I'm not really familiar with it, but apparently the women are. So anyway, they sold out of all the items, just like that, because Target was selling them for Target level prices, and a lot of this stuff often goes for hundreds or even over $1,000. Well, Target is saying that they don't feel bad about the way things happen, that everybody had an equal shot to buy the merchandise. They actually seem like they were excited by the attention they gathered by doing it, and are probably going to try to strike more exclusive deals like that in the future to drive energy, attention, and traffic to the Target.com brand. By the way, some of the items I saw, some items that went out at $300 being sold for $1,200 to $1,800 on eBay right now. Not a bad flip or return on investment right there. It's a cheat sheet for today. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.